What we're going to do now is we're going to enhance our date class. What we want to do is in our parameterized constructor, where we are going to ask the user to input all of the date items, all of the fields. We have a set of parameters. They're going to give us the date, the year, the month, the day. One of the problems with any constructor is that there is no return value. Since there is no return value, this will never, we'll never catch any errors unless we tell it to. So what we're going to do is we're going to anticipate the ways that a user can get things wrong, and based on that, we are going to make sure they can't construct the date without causing an error. Okay, so we're going to look for any arguments they give us that are inappropriate or don't work for this object. An example would be year. If they tried to tell us that the year was -35, we would know there's a problem. Now we're going to stick to the Gregorian calendar. So we're going to accept year 1, and we'll accept year 2013 because we're not Mayans, and we will accept any year outside or later than 2013 because we are going to expect that this program will last for millennia, okay? Until the supernova, and by then we will have migrated to other planets, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're going to be hopeful and optimistic, but we will look for a problem in year. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check the year. So we're going to ask ourselves, well, is the year less than 1? If year is less than 1, we have a problem, Houston. So what are we going to do if it's less than 1? We are going to do what's called throw an exception. So if they try to give us something that's inappropriate, we are going to create an error right here. So watch what I do here. We did some exception handling before, but we've never actually triggered our own exception. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called throw an exception. Throw means we are going to trigger it ourselves in the code. So if they try to give us a year less than 1, we're going to throw a new argument. And it's a new, and there are a bunch of different exceptions. There is an argument exception. Hold on, let me start that over again. There is argument exception, a null exception, an out-of-range exception, arithmetic exception, and a whole host of other exceptions. So I'm just going to go over just a general idea. Argument exception just is a general catch-all. In fact, that's the one I'd like to use. Actually, no, we'll do out-of-range exception, excuse me, because we're outside of the range of what we want. Argument exception just means you gave the wrong argument, and we have no other helpful one here. So out of range is a good one because if we're going less than 1, that's outside of the range of possible values. There's also a division by 0 exception, and there are a bunch of other ones. So now the thing about throwing this is if you think about it, and you can give negative integers in Visual C#, and there's not a problem with it. Visual C# is never going to catch the fact that they gave us a negative integer unless they try to give us a number that's outside of the range of an integer. So we have to put that in ourselves, and that's what we're doing when we throw this. But we're going to give it one argument here. And the argument is we're going to say which field is out of range. And that's going to be the year field. So we're just going to put in here year so that when it throws that, it will say we have year is the problem with our range. Okay, so we're going to target that. Okay, that's pretty easy, right? So now what we're going to do is let's do month. Okay, so we're going to call this handle out of range months. So what are the different ranges that are unacceptable for month? What are the different values? What would be an incorrect month value? So what we did is we're going to now handle out of range months. So the months that are out of range is, can we have a -1 month, for example? Please say no because I asked it. Okay. So no, you can't have a month that's -1, and we're not going to accept a 0 month because we're making it 1 based. So do it just like year if month is less than 1. And then we're going to throw another argument out of range exception. And then throw new argument out of range exception. And I just want to remind you that one of the things that we did is, actually, wait a minute, hold on, we're not done yet, are we? What else would be an incorrect range of month? Huh? Yeah, 12. You can't be over 12. So, if month is less than 1, and then is it or and? Yeah, it's or. So we do the double line like that. Month greater than 12. So we will accept 12, but we won't accept anything after it. Yeah. So those are the range of values that we want to accept. And then let me pause for a second. Okay. So that's our out of range month. And now comes the hardest part, and that's day. Because think about how days can go wrong. So think about it. If it's February, you know, it can't be greater than what? Yeah, it can't be greater than 28 unless it's a leap year, right? Yep, but we also know for sure we can't have a day of the month that's less than 1. And you're never going to have one over 31. So we can do one that's just like catches the main one. And then we can do the February. But then we have our little poem, 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. So then we have to check for all of those because we're going to make this date be as solid as we can. So now we're going to handle out of range days. Okay, so we'll start with the most generic. If day is less than 1 or day is greater than 31, we'll throw it for sure. Okay, so that captures the first possibility. And so again, it's throw new argument out of range. You get the idea here. This time we put day. And now we're going to have a series of these that each of these possibilities could throw an argument out of range exception. Okay. So after that first one there, let's check for, shall we do our April, June, and November, all those one? 30 days has September. Let's try that one. So, okay. How many days has September, April, June, and November? How many do they have? What did I just say? They can't be greater than 30. So if day is greater than 30, and you're like, but wait, what about all our other months? Well, we have to also target all those possible months. So we're going to use the double and sign. And in parentheses, we have to put all of our month options. So 30 days hath September, April. Which one starts first in the calendar? April, right? So what month is April? Please tell me you have the right answer for this. Yes, it is 4. Thank you. All right, so if month, not equals. It doesn't like that. It has to be is equal to 4. Or, right, month, 30 days has September, April, June. What's June? Which month is June? Yes, it is the 6th month. Thank you. I'm glad you know this. Of course, if that was your birthday, you would know. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. So let's do September. What month is September? 9. Or November, my favorite month, 11. So we have this big, chunky Boolean expression. But believe me, in my other class, you know what I tried to do? I tried to put every possibility into one big, ginormous exception handling thing. And it doesn't like me. Does anyone catch what it doesn't like? Where's my error? Ironically, it's the one that doesn't have a red underline is where the real error is. Oh, I forgot an extra equal sign. Bam, it should all be gone. All right, we've covered our poem songs. So now all I have to do is cover February. Then cover February. There's different ways we can do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, let's not even think about leap year, okay? So, actually, no, I mean, we'll do it as leap year. Hold on just a second. So we'll put if month is equal to 2, there's our February, and we're just going to do if it's greater than 29. Now, we could say if it's greater than 28, but then we have to account for is leap year. So we're just going to first of all say, hey, if it's greater than 29, no matter what, it's wrong. Then we'll check for if it's not leap year. We'll just do the opposite. I hope that makes sense to you. It's about as clear as my coffee. So, sorry. Throw, new, and I'm glad, I wonder if Visual Studio ever tires of IntelliSense. Okay, and the last one is for non-leap year. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little bit different. If month is equal to 2 and day is equal to 29. Okay, because we don't have to worry about the any other one. It's just 29 is that wacky one. Because we already covered for greater than 29. And the last one here is we're going to use the not operator. So this exclamation mark says not. So we're going to say, and it's not is leap year. And guess what we have not done yet? We forgot to add that in. So we're going to have to do that in just a moment. Okay, it's going to look like that. Let's just go ahead and code it, and then we'll fix it. Shame on me. All right. So the first step we need to do after this beautiful constructor is let's get the is leap year method onto our code.